it going, my fellow Homo sapiens? It's your boy Uzumaki Hadou, and this is a Gantz G manga review. Gantz Chapter 10, Women's Weapon. Yo-chan learned how to use a Gantz gun, and some spicy photos leak of Corona online. This is more coming at you next! This chapter here was pretty decent. It was okay for the most point of this chapter of Gantz G. So we open up on the third night of the Gantzers still training, getting used to their suits. We have Corona, a close-up shot of Corona. She's standing there and she's looking at her suit and she's like, yeah, I'm really getting used to this. So that's really, really good because now once they go into battle and once they get ready to fight these aliens, they're going to have a good concept of what these suits are capable of and what they can do. Now in the original Gantz, you didn't see these people training on the outside. It was just, you was in this world, you was in this game, you was hunting aliens, and you learned as you go. Where these girls here, I feel like they do have a little heads up because they've been training in the regular world, in the real life, and learning these suits. So now once they do go in these games, they'll be able to kick ass. So we cut to the next scene, and we have the veteran Gantzers, and they're looking at Corona and Ikigami, and they're saying, you know what? We have two useful people in our group right now. Because really when you look at everyone else, some of the other girls doesn't seem like they're up to snuff at the moment. I mean, you can look at Yo-chan, she don't look like she's going to be the one that survives. It looks like you're going to have to protect her and things of that nature. She's always crying. You look at some of the other girls, they don't seem too capable at the moment. But Ikigami and Corona, they are the most hardcore girls right now. However, we go to the next scene and we have Kaiji heading on the field. Yes! So the veteran Gantzers are like, hey, you finally showed up to training. You know, where have you been? And I will say Kaiji looks hardcore. I don't know what it is about Kaiji lately, but she's been looking more badass lately. This really, really awesome. So the veteran Gantzers are like, know what we're getting ready to do now is we're going to teach y'all how to power up. So we have Yo-chan, she's picking up this brick or this little metal slab, and you can tell that she's having a lot of difficulties carrying this slab. You can see the veins hanging out of her arm because of the suit, and she's like trying to get it to the other half, the other side. And then Kaiji goes out of nowhere, picks up this huge metal slab, and just throws it across the field. This launches it across the field, and you have the veteran Gantzers like, what the hell? They're just stunned. And Kaiji's like that? Now, one thing I kind of wanted to pause for a second and talk a little bit more about Kaiji. I will say this much. I feel like Kaiji is starting to become more of a favorite character for me. She is definitely rising up the ranks of the characters I like because she's hardcore, she's badass, she looks great in the Gantz suit. I mean, she has a very attractive body, but not just that, she has a cool personality and she's strong. And I really feel like now, as we start to see more of these characters develop their own personalities, Kaiji seems more and more badass every time we see her. Now, they're stunned and they're just sitting back this lost. And one thing I will say is Kaiji learned how to power up when she fought against her father or her parent. You know, when she went in there, her father or whoever that guy was punched her and hit her with the bat. She learned how to power up by fighting that guy. So she already has like a little heads up on some of the knowledge of the suit from some of the other girls just learning how to power up. So what I will say about this is I think that when we look at Corona, I like Corona because she's hardcore, she's cool. Now, she's not as attractive as some of the other girls in the group, but she seems like a leader, and that's one reason I like Corona. Ikigami, I'm going to be honest with you, she's attractive, but at the same time, her personality sucks. And I think that's what makes her so ugly to me. Her personality of this so desperate to be better than Corona sucks. Her jealousy, it's just horrible. No, I'm not, you big bully. Yeah, you are. Get out of my video. You know, like Ikigami, it just, I don't know, it's just her personality is just so horrible that makes me hate her character more than anything else, because she seemed like she's always scheming. She seemed like she always trying to do something to be better than Corona. She wants to be the center of compliments. She wants to be the center of everything. And I'm like, no, you can't be the center of everything. Where we go to Kaiji and it seems like she doesn't even care. You know, she's just going to be really, really strong. So we got the veteran gangsters basically saying, hey, you know what? We have 3 useful people. And those 3 useful people are going to be Kaiji, Corona, and Ikigami. So the next step is teaching everyone how to use a Gantz gun. So Ikigami hops up and she's like, hey, you know, let me go first. So they give her the gun and she turns around at Corona and she pulls the trigger and you see Corona explode. And I'm like, whoa, no, did she just kill Corona? But come to find out, she was daydreaming. Whew, oh my goodness. So Ikigami was daydreaming about killing Corona. She was just standing there with the gun, just lost in space. So the veteran gangster was like, hey, you spacing out. Let's go. Let's train. So she get ready to pull the trigger and she shoots all over the place, just hitting everything, just missing the target but hitting a whole bunch of other things. Now the veteran gangsters did explain that if you pull the top trigger and the bottom trigger, you hit a flash of light and then the explosion. Now, I do have a little issue with this right here. It's because when we go back to the original Gantz, there used to be a delay. So you hit your target and then you got some space between you and the target, so that few seconds would pass before the target exploded or the head exploded. In this case, it seemed like that when they pull the trigger, it instantly explodes. So I wonder if they're taking that whole delay, shooting the gun and having that delay before something explodes out. Because when we look at the original Gantz, at the end of Gantz, it seemed like the delay was no longer there. So I'm really interested, like, what happened to the delay? If they're just taking it out altogether, or is it something they forgot, or is it just something they just don't want to use anymore? So we have a few of the girls going up there shooting the gun, and they're just suck. They just suck ass. So we have Yo-chan. They finally give Yo-chan a gun, and she hits her target. It was like, oh, wow. Okay. So they were like, here's another target. She hits her target again. And I'm like, interesting. So like, you know what? We want you to try the rifle with the scope. Like, hit the locker way back there. Bah! Yo-chan hit the locker with ease. So at this moment, we see where Yo-chan's strengths are. Her strength is not running around fighting aliens. Her strength is going to be sitting back and sniping aliens from the far. Yes! Haha! So now where we had 3 useful people, now we got 4 useful people. Because Yo-chan is going to be the shooter. And I really do like that. I really do kind of like that. Because now it seems like we won't have to worry about Yo-chan being on the battlefield and people have to protect her. Yeah, we're probably still going to have to protect her. But at the same time, I feel like she's going to be able to hide in a rafter somewhere. Hide in a tree somewhere where it's safe and just snipe off aliens. Just kind of saving people who's on the ground. So that's really, really awesome. So at this moment, you know, everyone's giving Yo-chan compliments. And we have Morishita or Moistat. Oh man, her name is very, very difficult to pronounce. And she's like, don't get cocky or you'll end up like Corona. And I'm like, damn! Did she just threaten her? So the training of that night is finally over. We have Yo-chan and Corona chilling at the crib or whatnot. And Yo-chan is scared. She's starting to cry like a little girl once again. And Corona's like, hey, what's the matter? She's like, I'm scared. I'm scared of Ikigami and I'm scared of Morishita. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Ikigami's friend. And she's like, why do you need to be scared of them? You know, what's the matter? Because Corona is really just, like, she doesn't care. Corona has this bigger play in mind. So, Yo-chan shows her the computer and what they've been saying about her online. And it's talking about how she's a slut, how she was sleeping with with Nike, and you know she's just a horrible person. And not just that, they leaked some nudes of Corona online where I guess she's naked and she's at the beach, or you know she has like a half a baby suit on or something of that nature. So at this moment, I'm thinking that Corona is going to flip out, but instead she didn't. You know, she was just really, really calm. She don't care. She was like, I have one and one goal only, and that goal is bringing back Nike. And I'm like, you know what? I respect you, Corona. She's hardcore. She doesn't care about all this side trash, all this little girl beef. She has one purpose, and that is bringing back Nike. So she looks at Yo-chan and she's like, do you want some of my power? You know, do you want some of this strength? And she jumps on a Yo-chan, and at that moment, we get a nice little panty shot, a little bit of fan service, and I felt like that was a beautiful little fan service right there. That was pretty awesome, and they're just kind of wrestling around and playing. So now we go to the next scene where we have Morishita. She just met up with Fujimoto, one of the veteran Gantzers, and Fujimoto's giving her a ride, I believe giving her a ride home, and she's sitting in the car. She's like, hey, what's the coincidence of us meeting together? So Fujimoto, he's just kind of just chilling there, just driving or whatnot. He really doesn't care. He seems like his mind is on something. And Morishita, she's like, so do you like Corona or something? I know that you're always giving her compliments. And then Morishita unbuttons her top of her shirt and kind of like let her breasts kind of puck up a little bit. So she seemed to try to like come at him sexually, try to get his attention, and she tried to throw some salt Corona's way. She's like, hey, you know, Corona's not really all that. She kind of got a boyfriend, or she's not really a good person. She acts different when she's in school, and she's just telling all these lies and things of that nature, trying to taint Corona's good name. So finally she gets Fujimoto finally gets her to the crib, and he's like, you know, I'll just catch you later. And Morishita, she's like salty because it didn't even have an effect on him. Like, he doesn't care. We don't know what the veteran Gantzers are thinking at the moment, but Morishita just got tossed to the side like it was nothing, you know. We'll see you at the next training session. And I was like, whoa, you know, like, all that work you try to do to make Corona look bad didn't work. So at the end of the chapter, we see someone in the far. Once Morishita, she goes into her house, we see a guy standing there kind of peeking out from the side. Now, I believe this is the guy from earlier in the chapter who walked with the girl from the meeting, or not the meeting, from the concert. And he was like, hey, maybe you should spend more time respecting your fans or paying attention to your fans. I believe it's this guy. And I said it before, I feel like they're going to use him in this some type of way. I feel like he's going to end up killing one of these girls, raping one of these girls, or he's going to end up attempting to kill one, raping one, something. He's going to do something. He's going to get killed, and he's going to end up in the Gantz world with everyone else. So overall, that was the chapter. What did I feel about the chapter? What did I think about the chapter? Well, here's the thing. I felt like for Gantz G, it was okay. Because what I've been doing lately is kind of pairing Gantz G with the original Gantz. And I don't think I can do that at the moment. I don't think Gantz G is nowhere near the original Gantz. The original Gantz was just hardcore. It was some serious hardcore stuff. Don't get me wrong, the original Gantz did have some dead areas where they went to school and, you know, they played games and fell in love with people. But it had it had something to do with the original plot. Where this one right here, it seems more like high school stuff, like a high school drama. You see a group of girls, and it's this girl's everyday life. And what really gonna piss me off is that we are seeing all this development for these characters, and the next game, like half of them gonna get killed off, or maybe some of them gonna get killed off. You know, that what really gets me, because like right now, it's like a high school drama. It's like, hey, Corona's this really cool, badass girl who tries hard, and Ikigami is this really, really popular girl, but she wants compliments too, so she's gonna do everything in her power to make Corona look bad and hurt Corona so she can be at the top. You know, it's like, this is what we see in like middle school and high school stuff. So overall, I felt like the chapter was okay. I can't wait till we start getting into more of the serious stuff, more of the darker things, and more serious, hardcore stuff. I think that the fan service is great, but I think that we're kind of getting oversaturated with the fan service. I mean, it's not fan service like how good the fan service was in Gantz, the original Gantz, but I mean, it's good to see these girls do what things, but I really want to get to more of a mature, darker theme, more killing, more desperate stuff. Hopefully we can get some more characters in the series, but instead of seeing them in their normal life, we can get back to killing and battling in Gantz, killing these aliens. But overall, it was a great chapter. I enjoyed it, but that's all I have for you today. Please rate, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching. Matane.